These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Good morning, Skippy.
Morning, Josh.
How are you?
It's a beautiful morning here in mid-Michigan.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm okay. You?
I couldn't possibly be better.
The Lions could have won.
Huh?
I said the Lions could have won.
They could have, but I'm glad they didn't.
They're meeting expectations with that loss, so that's good.
Meeting expectations?
There wasn't very many people that were saying they were going to win, so they're meeting expectations. It's always good to have a review when you meets expectations.
Okay. All right. Better to have those games now than in the playoffs. They'll learn a lot.
That they will. What's been going on in your world over there?
Well, I'm not a fan of the pit bull fans. We never have been. I hate the way that they are wired because they're super duper fragile, and I just had another one go out at me. Every time the wire breaks in the same spot, and it's right at the fan. So,
Time to take the fan apart. And do you have a soldering iron?
No.
Well,
But I will be on my way to go get one as soon as we finish here, because I needed that. I usually have a spare, but I had another one crap out of me earlier this year, so I am using the spare, unfortunately. So, and I never ordered another one. I completely forgot. So.
yeah.
Anywho, other than that, I went out to light my pit this morning, and it was rolling, and then I had to open the door, and I closed it again, and the wire fell off as I closed the door. It didn't get hung up on anything. It was time. And it's been kind of in and out a little bit, depending on how I manipulated the fan. Like, I'd hear the fan cut out every once in a while. So, it had been loose. My own fault for waiting.
So now we have to have a little surgery.
Yeah. Emergency surgery is always the best one. I mean, it couldn't possibly have waited another 14 service days.
No, it's been done now.
Yeah. But other than that...
might as well fix the other one while you're at it, too.
No, that one was a different issue. I don't know. That one, I don't know what happened to it, but it wouldn't work at all. So, that one went bye-bye. So, yeah.
So our friend Sean posted a meme of Spirit Halloween taking over Spartan Stadium.
Might as well. I don't have any other good use for it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was not a Spartan fan and a Lions fan, so I only had to watch a painful ass kicking one day this weekend. But yeah,
I was hoping they would get a field goal at least, but
yeah, it's much better to be on the winning side of those.
Yeah. So I was hoping for was just a field goal.
I went out and got my lawn mowed during the third quarter of the Lions game. Turned it off.
Good.
Turned it off when they that first drive, and went out and mowed my front lawn, and came back in and checked the score and realized that it hadn't gotten any better, so turned it back off.
I was going to say, went and power washed my driveway.
No, I just did other things, Yeah, it's I didn't expect them to go 16-1 the rest of the way. But those ones hurt. But it happens. And when you have that game where you're just off, everything's kind of just off, and the other team is really, really on, it kind of compounds things. But it was a weird week in the NFL this week, so Something was in the air.
I know. Belichick got his 300th win beating the Bills.
The Bears won with their non-drafted Division II quarterback.
Well, maybe that's what they needed.
You know, it happens.
It's just what they needed. Oh, all in all, a good week of football, though. Or a good weekend of football.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Can't complain. Moving on. Moving on to next week, and I have to wait all the way until Monday for a game.
Oh, yes. Raiders, Lions.
Raiders, yeah. Should be a good one. And the Lions have been undefeated on the road since September of last year, which is super hard to do. So they were due. And, yeah.
Okay.
They were due. That's all I'm going to say. They'll come back. They'll be fine next week.
I mean, they should beat the Raiders.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if you saw you probably didn't watch any of the game, but the graphic for the rest of their schedule, there's one team that has a winning record in their last 10 games. 11 games. One team has a winning record, and that's the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's a very favorable soft schedule.
Correct, but there are a lot of teams that they do play that could give them some fits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to win the division.
They should,
because the rest of those teams are just train wrecks. So they'll have a playoff game. They'll host a playoff game this year, which I think is a good recipe for them to win a playoff game. So I am not looking for them to win the Super Bowl this year. I was never that far into a season of destiny type of thing.
No tattoos on your body.
No. So we got to look at market progress. You know, it's tough to turn a team around in 2 years when you replace all the pieces pretty much. So it's a very young team, and it's still a good ride. So if we can get in the playoffs and win a game, excellent. If we can even, win 2 would be amazing. But I think that's the benchmark for this year. Win the division, win a playoff game. So
They could.
Yeah.
Or they should get to that point. But I think the Chargers, the Saints, I think are going to give them fits. But that still would be what, a 12-4 record, 13-4.
13-4, yeah, and that's kind of where, when I was looking at the schedule when we talked last week, I was like, there's 5 games left that if they lost all of them, it's still a 12-win season. You know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And then the Cowboys too.
Yeah. They lose all of them, it's still a 12-win season. You're still going to win that division with 12 wins. So.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they'll meet expectations this year, at least my expectations. So I'm happy.
Good.
I'm still a happy Lions fan.
Well, I'm glad you're a happy Lions fan.
Yep. And kind of made the decision we're gonna hold off a couple months on placing the trailer order. We'll get into more of the trailer stuff in a little bit. We have a lot of questions and comments, and I want to get to Isaac's stuff and Chad's stuff too. So, but yeah, we're gonna wait a couple months. Get some things corrected on our personal side, and then go forward so we can get the better rate. Rate came through and it was just freaking absurd. So,
still.
Well, it's from a new place, so we don't have a history with them.
Rates right now are horrible to begin with.
Huh?
I said all rates right now are horrible to begin with.
So that way we can get back to our original company with the much better rate in terms. So again, just being patient. It'll allow me the next couple months to really focus on scheduling for our single trip and knock it out of the park next year. So, and then if that means we don't get the other trailer until July, then that's fine. We'll be ready for it whenever we can pull the trigger on it. So, I would love to pay cash for it, as Isaac said. Just wait and pay cash. Yeah, I'm not that patient. and it's an expense that I'm okay absorbing because, yeah, it's not a hardship on the business. We're not straining the business to make those payments.
Yeah.
So there's my thought process on it. We're not going into millions of dollars of debt to build a building. So, yeah, that is that thought process on that. Let's get into our week in review. We had one comment on our. Do we want aluminum foil? Sorry, we got a comment on the episode. It said aluminum foil. I don't have any idea what that means, Chad. Yes, I use aluminum foil. Prices are outrageous on it, so getting better though.
The latest stuff I got from Sam's is actually like thicker now.
Well, so Costco took off their Reynolds big rolls. They had them all year until about a month and a half ago. And I haven't been able to find them there again, but yeah, prices have finally dropped at GFS. It's not my favorite foil in the world, but I'm hoping that their GFS Choice foil comes back because that stuff is good. He said to fix the broken wire in a hurry, use some aluminum foil. Well, that's gonna be So it's not. It's not broken.
Right to the board.
Yeah, it's not in a place unless I foiled the whole board, and I'm pretty sure that that's going to cause another issue. So
you'll have to solder. You'll have to strip the wire.
Yep.
Probably remove the other wire so you can get it the same size. Yeah.
Now to solder it right on top of the other solder point.
I mean,
should work.
Sure.
For a short-term quick fix. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. A few weeks ago, podcast. No, somebody wants to improve our podcast. Isn't that nice of them? Chad did mention that he would like to see a more structured format for our little show here. So, something that I will work on over the next couple of weeks is kind of developing some structure to this thing. I think we do a pretty good job, but once we get past our week in review, it's kind of a whatever. So back to the week in review. Skippy, how was your week?
Wet. Wet. Very, very, very wet.
Sounds exciting. Tell us more.
No, not that. Not the good wet.
What do you mean good wet? I'm confused.
Sorry, not the exciting wet. I don't know. Whatever you just said. Everything is slowing down for the rest of the year because people are cold. They don't want to go out. I got called unreliable. Just all sorts of fun things. Things that were great last year weren't great this year.
Yeah. Sorry, you got called unreliable. Is that because you canceled a subdivision or something?
I canceled a brewery because it was pouring down rain, and it's a small town. And in all fairness, I didn't want to sit out there just hoping to make money. And I don't have an awning or a tent with me, so
yeah.
And honestly, it's one that I probably won't go back to next year because this year wasn't anywhere near what it was last year. And I always wonder if that's because the economy's different or people just don't like food trucks anymore. Or I did something to piss somebody off. I don't know. That always goes through my head. But
yeah,
we had a wedding reception on Wednesday night. Yep, wedding on Wednesday night. We did a trunk or treat on Friday that we did pretty good at last year, that we did okay at this year. Mm-hmm. And Saturday was a Witches on the Town event in the beautiful city of downtown Mason. And it was raining most of the time. There were 7 food trucks. We were only told there was 3.
It's a lot of trucks.
So the guy who had the lowest prices won. Yeah. Which we all know is the hot dog guy. One of the trucks left at like we were supposed to be there from 12 to 6. I left at 5. One of the other trucks left at 2 because he has like a butternut squash soup.
Okay.
And what else? A chicken salad on a croissant and something else. And it was some protein of some sort. He's like, yeah. He's like, normally these events, I do like $1,200-$1,300. He's like, I made $187.
Yes.
So I'm out of here. We're like, okay, see ya. Yesterday we did something kind of fun. I got with a couple. One of the food trucks in our town posted the same time I posted that we were going to set up on Sunday at the Home Depot. And when I saw his schedule, I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, dude, I'm not trying to step on your tail or step on your tails. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Step on your toes.
Step on your toes. There you go. Life around too many dogs. Are you up to just doing like a little, kind of like a mini rally? I guess we kind of called that mini rally." He's like, "Sure." He's like, "I'm like, I'll create an event for it. We'll share all the local sites and go from there." And that was on like a Tuesday. By Wednesday, another truck, Tiki Sam's, who we had on our podcast earlier this year, decided that or asked if he could be a part of it. And he doesn't do very many roadside days. Most of his are either events or private. He's like, yeah, well, he's got like 7,000 followers. So it would make sense because between the three of us, we had over 10,000. So let's figure out how we can maximize this.
Right.
So we got him involved. And it was a little windy in the beginning, but pretty much sunny and, early or light 50 out, and ended up being a good day, I think, for me and the pizza guy. Now I worry about the burger guy. I don't know if he had a good day or not. He said he did, but I'll take his word for it. But it was almost $1,000 in 5 hours, so on a Sunday. Kind of picked up my crappy week.
Good. How much did you say you did?
At Home Depot?
Yeah.
About 1,000.
Okay. I heard 5. For whatever reason, 5 popped into my head. Took me a second to process. I was like, wait a minute. That couldn't have been 5,000 a day.
We had a total of 7,200 in sales.
Not bad.
Well, I think that I don't know if that includes an invoice that was paid for an event this week or that was paid last week or not.
When did they get paid? So it'll hit whatever day it was paid. So if it was paid this week, then that's when it hits the sales.
So we did about 5,000 in sales that week.
Yeah, that's. I've complained about that numerous times on this podcast.
Stupid.
So, Pam and I are trying to figure out some ways around or how to invoice differently, probably maybe to help with that stuff. So, but yeah, since Square's not gonna, I'm not gonna say fix it because it's not broken. Because proper accounting rules, that's the way you do it. So,
who's ever proper?
Well, I just for reports, I would like it to hit, differently.
Yeah.
I'm not saying post date the payment so it shows that it hit, it was. But yeah, it would be nice to see, what you actually did per day or whatever.
It would, yeah.
I'd be happy, just say month, because I don't really look week to week typically. So, what I'm looking for, next year and stuff, it's and really it doesn't even freaking matter. Projections for next year and what we think we can do per month and stuff. It's yeah.
80% card, 20% cash.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So I had pulled some other stuff when I was looking. So from our first year, when we were cash heavy, So we had the same amount of tips our first year, so 2020, huge COVID, lots of cash, little bit of credit cards. The same amount. Wait, was it? Damn it. No, I don't remember. Because I can't pull cash tips. Fuck, I don't remember. Damn it. Maybe it was credit card tips had stayed relatively the same from 2020 to now. Or something like that. I had pulled some weird stat. Well, I wish I would have written it down so I could remember it. Never mind. Moving on. Sorry.
Fucking one in every group.
Huh?
One in every group.
Yep, that's me. Just trying to fill the dead air.
Hi, it's you.
I'm the problem. I know. Well aware. Sugar. Speaking of other wire issues, I did order another a square wire kit, and this is why I keep a spare of those. So just ordered another a spare because we're gonna we have to replace some cables. This one was on the little credit card reader that pops off.
Yeah.
We have a worn spot on the cable, but it's like a half an inch away from the reader, which isn't nothing makes contact with it in that spot, because usually we see it where the window is, like just the window coming open and closed on the cables. You usually get a wear spot there.
Yeah.
This one's in a really weird spot, so I'm not sure, but yeah, I started to see a little bit of the copper sheathing underneath the cord, so time to replace. But those ones, we've made it over a year, I think, with that set of cables, so not bad. It's getting better. We now pre-tape all our cables where the window hits, just to try to help with that a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, my new trailer has side-to-side windows, not up and down windows.
Yeah.
So same one I have now, except smaller.
Yeah. Self-closing?
Huh?
Are they self-closing?
How could they be self-closing?
What do you mean? There's lots of side-to-side doors that self-close. You can make side-to-side doors that self-close, yeah.
Well, the answer to that is no.
Okay.
Because
I know regular doors, they make side-to-side, like pocket doors and stuff, that are self-closing. And it's just a spring mechanism, to push the door back. It is a point for our health department that the windows are supposed to be self-closing.
Yes, I remember you told me that.
Yeah, and they check. So
we don't have the Nazi health department you do.
But there's trucks over here that have side-to-side windows, and they leave them open the entire time.
Yeah.
And there's no closing mechanism on them. There's no an air curtain. So I don't know. I don't know. I love the health department. It's my favorite.
They know how to grease palms.
Yeah. My week was okay. Not bad. We had better weather over here this week. It wasn't as wet as the week before, but yeah, it was slower. It was definitely slower. We went from 3 sellouts the week it was raining all week to just 1 this week, and that was yesterday. Yeah, it was weird. Even our lunches were a little bit slow. We're used to the dinners kind of slowing out right now. Slowing down, but yeah, lunches were slow even. It was a weird week. We were left scratching our heads for most of it. But yeah, I think it was our best day that we've had at the produce stand, Deep Roots, yesterday. Perfect weather for it though. It was 55 and partly cloudy. And we're a week away from Halloween, so yeah, that was a good one. We did an e-gaming competition in the evening, which was okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so my old company is hosting it, or it was their first year doing it, and they hosted it. So they had about 100 teams, 3 people per team.
Yeah.
So a decent amount of people in the area. The timing's always weird though on food.
Yeah.
So they wanted us 6 to 8. We did Newaygo in the morning and then shot down there. So we got there about 3:30 and we were ready to go by 4, which was probably a good thing because we had really decent hours 4 to 6, and then once the competition started, it just kind of died.
Yeah, ghost town.
Yeah. We get a couple stragglers from here and now and then. I mean, but it's all they're at that point they're getting a small side or just a drink, you know. So yeah, we got cleaned up and headed out of there a little bit early. I think 7:30 is when we left, but yeah. But I mean, still, I mean, not a bad evening. If we did it next year, we'd try to find something closer to that part of town or part of the state. So we didn't have to make the 2.5 hour drive from Newaygo back through Grand Rapids to the southern part of Michigan. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent day. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, just some weird days. Some really surprising locations that were slow. So we'll see what happens this week. It's supposed to be 75 here tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we get to.
Chris is, I mean, he's off today, obviously, and then he's been getting Tuesdays off. So, yeah, good for him. I'm happy for him. He's getting a couple great weather days today and tomorrow. So, and when I am off on Wednesday, it's supposed to be 60 and raining all day. So, you know, whatever. It's about the same.
Yeah, it's all sorts of weird weather's.
Yeah.
You can never. I seem like this is like the wettest October we've had in a while.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten some rain. We had our first frost this morning. So.
Oh yeah, it was 29.
Oh, we didn't get that cold. We hit 32 when I woke up. But that's the first time we've actually had frost this morning. So, yeah, we've been hovering right around 38, 36 most mornings. So, which is still cold, but yeah. Anywho, yeah, it was a good week. It's going to be an okay week this week. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. We'll see if we get the people wanting to get their last little bits. You know, for the most part, most of our locations that we're going to hit this week are the last time we're going to be there until March. So that usually helps a little bit. We usually get a little bump. We got a couple of our good subdivisions that we're hitting this week, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, this is probably our last week out.
Yeah.
We have a busy week in November, but yeah, and we have one event in November as long as the weather holds out.
Yeah, I am still getting hammered with quote requests. It's crazy how many I've gotten over the last month. Because usually we don't get them this early, at least not this many this early.
Well, it's good that people are planning.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. I'm not complaining at all.
So let me ask you that: with those quote requests, how often are you following up with the quote?
What do you mean?
As far as you sent the quote,
Yeah,
so you sent your quote. How often do you follow up on that?
once. I'll wait a couple weeks if I haven't heard back from them. Yeah, I'll follow up once. I'll shoot them an email asking if they need anything else. And a lot of times at that point, it's if they say we're still seeking options or whatever, then I'll make a note for another couple weeks. But yeah, I don't do hard selling. So, but a lot of times. Yeah, typically, if we don't get a response back that's booking in the first couple weeks, we usually don't get them. We've noticed so.
Yeah, I mean they probably pick somebody, I guess.
Yeah, for that, if you're getting multiple quotes from people, and I reach out to them in a couple weeks, and yeah, I mean, either someone came in at a better price or whatever, you know. So, Yeah, I don't need to reach out to them another 15 times. I give them some
No, for
space,
sure.
and sometimes they forget, and it's like, oh, thanks for. I meant to respond, but I haven't, which is always nice. But yeah, it's a. I typically once I'll reach out once, unless it warrants
Gotcha.
more. But how about you?
I do the same, but I'm used to the hard sale person, so I will typically ask them, have you decided on a vendor as of yet? Do you have any other questions? I normally grab one within a couple days and then one a couple weeks out.
Yeah. Um, Now, if I have somebody else looking at the same date, I will probably reach out a little bit earlier or more often. Like I might do someone else comes in with the same date, I might reach out to them the same day and say, hey, just so you know, I got somebody else looking. I have it earmarked for you right now, but I need to know if I don't hear back from you in the next couple days, um, I'm gonna take you off the schedule, and go with this other one. So, and sometimes that's not always true, you know. If I have a really good conversation back and forth with someone and then they go silent for a few days, I'll use that same tactic where, hey, we had somebody else interested. How serious are you? Just to try to cause some urgency in their decision making. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but at least then I know and I have a date or have the date open or don't. So
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
yeah. But yeah, it's kind of sticking with our same pricing structure that we had this year. With prices, not really moving a whole lot this year, which is nice. If anything, on a whole, they've gone down. So we're just going to kind of hang right where we are with our pricing for catering stuff next year, I think. I'm not even positive we're going to move menu prices at all next year. I have to think about it some more, but
I don't know. It was pretty. Having brisket go up to $5 a pound is kind of
yeah,
hurting a little bit.
I haven't paid $5 at all this year.
Wow.
I was 440 for. Yeah, I was hitting 440 for prime, but right now, choice at Costco is dirt cheap by the case. Relatively speaking, it's $2.89. I think is what the last case I told you I paid for. So
That's really good. Yeah, we don't have anything near that number.
well, I was shocked when I saw because I saw the price because it's a bigger number on the tag, and I was like, oh, how small is this case? Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So then I thought maybe they mismarked it for like ribs or something.
Yeah, I know, right? I've had that.
Yeah, I think I got ribs for $1.49 a pound or something like that at one. I was like, oh, that's gotta be a mistake.
Yeah.
But I will take it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shut up.
Hey, Taco.
I might have to step away for a second at about 10 o'clock, but my cleaning guy's coming today.
Oh. Oh, you have a cleaning guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why do you say it like that? If I would have said cleaning lady, would you have said, oh, you have a cleaning lady?
No, I don't really hear too much about a cleaning guy. I hear about cleaning ladies, not cleaning guys.
Yes, he has his own business. He does residential and commercial, and got a staff of like 6 people.
Listen, all the power to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just know it's not me.
You're not a cleaning guy?
No. No,
All right, let's get to. I want to touch base on a couple of things. I want to pull this up too so I can see. First of all, Isaac, I know you asked. This was kind of off air, but as far as my anxiety, and I appreciate the offer for a couple books, but yeah, went through some pretty good counseling at the beginning of this whole journey. I can mostly manage my my little panic attacks pretty well now, but I appreciate that. I listen. If this shit didn't scare me occasionally, I don't know that I would want to do it. It would definitely mean that I wasn't taking big enough swings from time to time. I think that holds true for anything you do, that it should scare you a little bit, you know? Otherwise, you're just playing it safe and not going big enough, so, in my personal opinion. So I wanted to touch base on that. And the other one that you asked me, so I know he asked as an off-air about our mac and cheese portions, our loaded mac and cheese portions. But then he had it on the on-air questions for me, because you answered him via Messenger.
Yes.
But then asked for my answer on air. For someone that binged all our episodes, I am surprised you want us to talk anywhere near this topic, because I know there was a good solid month there where there was a conversation. We'll put it that way.
Maybe
a conversation.
He's bringing up our best ratings.
Yeah, I know. The greatest hits, if you will. All right. My loaded Mac, let's start with pricing is $350, or not $350. Good Lord have mercy. $13.50.
Shit, I wouldn't doubt it.
Shut the fuck up. $13.50 for pork and $15.50 for brisket is what we charge. Now we use a 9x9 container instead of the rectangular container. What size is that, Skippy? 4x6 or whatever? Something like that? That hoagie container. Huh?
The double hamburger container?
Double hamburger? Is that what you call it?
Well, it's a 9x6.
Yeah, I think they classify them as
the
hoagies. Hoagie containers.
Or 6x6. No, the hoagies is a lot more expensive, and that's not. This is yeah. So our Mammoth Mac, which is double, goes in the 9x6, and our loaded goes in a 16-ounce deli container.
Okay. So yeah, ours. Give us the rundown here. Selling price, portion of pasta, portion size of pork.
That's a good one. Portion size of pasta. That's a good one.
Yeah, we don't portion out. We eyeball it, which I know is a big no-no.
You fill the bottom. I mean,
yeah, we fill the bottom. So it's I know our total weight of our loaded mac and cheese is just under 1.5 pounds. Which would mean you're at probably about 1 pound of pasta, of mac and cheese. We use a number 4 scoop for all our portions. So it's a number 4 scoop of pork or brisket. We use the same one for sandwiches, so everything's the same portion on everything. And then onions, jalapenos, and the sauce. So that number 4 scoop, for the most part, is roughly 1/4 pound of protein. Roughly, depending on the day. Sometimes there's more moisture in it, it weighs more. Yeah, you know how that goes. But yeah, I have considered going back and forth on whether or not we should be weighing out our mac and cheese and doing the portion that way, or just doing, or figuring out a different way to portion it without slowing everything down to a crawl. So yeah, that is where I am at with my loaded mac and cheese. Okay, good. Moving on.
Yeah, good. You could also use a number 6 scoop twice, 2 of them.
Yeah.
That'd fill the bottom, and then your number 4 for your meat.
I mean, is that a heaping number 6 scoop, or is that a leveled?
That's up to you on whatever you put in.
Well, you said it would fill it twice. I'm sure I could get a good enough scoop on a number 4 to fill it twice. Or, fill it with 2 scoops. So if you're going to use measured spoons like that to portion, then you got to make sure that everybody's measuring the same way. Which we've had some conversation recently on the truck about portion size and what constitutes a full scoop. You know, it shouldn't be a heaping scoop. It should be.
It's okay to have it. For me, it's okay to have a little crown. How about that?
That's fine, but yeah, it's not a. You pull everything that's hanging off. You know, all the extra that's hanging off and fold it up on top. And especially so when you do chopped brisket, you got to be there's a little bit more wiggle room there because it doesn't settle like pork does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, so it's all a little bit weird. We do the best we can.
I'm still using handfuls.
Yeah, that's perfect. So what is somebody else? So is that part of your hiring method then? When you do interviews, you have to check somebody's hand. Yes, can you put your hand up to my hand, please? I need to make sure that our portions are going to stay the same.
Do you know what that? Do you know the little finger right there? Just yeah.
Oh, fingers. Oh, that just got gross.
Hey, why does your mind always go there?
You're the one talking about
Always.
fingers. You need an HR person.
Yeah. It's called the trash basket over here. Number 2 for both of you. We talked about sales numbers last week. Follow-up question. Year to date, what's your sales numbers for caterings versus all other selling? Basically asking because I'm not sure I want to do catering, but money potential does talk.
I thought we hit on this, but let me pull up mine if I can find it again.
May I start the answer to this question?
Absolutely,
first?
man. Go ahead.
Isaac, I hate catering. Well, let's put it this way. I hate Ed catering. I always had that fear of running out of food. When you go vend, if you run out of food, it's a great freaking day. When you're catering, if you run out of food, either somebody's eating a lot or you made a mistake, and you never want to be in that spot where you make a mistake. I have done a lot better as far as my mentality towards catering, and catering is guaranteed money. So if you can do it, do it. Do it. My numbers year to date as of Sunday was 215. Catering
215 in catering?
No, he said year to date, and then what's your sales numbers for catering versus all others? So I did my year to date first.
Gotcha.
I'm following the structure. So
what's your year to date? What's your sales numbers for caterings?
It's 2
Year
different
to date,
questions.
what's your sales numbers for catering? He didn't ask for your.
I read it as 2 different questions. I'm at 68,000 for catering.
All right.
And yes, it does talk.
So yeah, right now we're at. Oh, that doesn't include a couple other ones that we've had. So I'm about 85 right now. And we have a couple other things coming that we're waiting to hear back on, some company events and stuff for the rest of the year. So yeah, 85 for me, which would leave another 200. I don't know. We're at 315 for the year, so 315 minus 85. 230 roadside. That sounds about right, give or take.
Yeah, so that would mean 215 minus 70 would be 55. There's 155, right? 153. 153.
So, yeah, catering. I would cater every day if I could, every single day. If I get a catered lunch every day, do it in a heartbeat. And here's why: that you know exactly what you need to cook, or you know how many people you're gonna cook for typically. It's a specific menu, so you're cooking less items, typically than I would for roadside. or preparing less items than I would for roadside. And typically the money's better. You know, I'd say our average is right around $20 a person for a catered meal. Yeah, so it's yeah, for me, I take as many as I can.
And you being, or him being in pasta, I guess, sales kind of thing would be, I think it'd be great for weddings and
Mhm. Absolutely, yeah.
events like that. It'd be fantastic.
Most of our stuff is buffet style, so it's even. I mean, that makes it even a little bit easier. I mean, we could potentially stack events, do a couple different catered events at the same time, depending on their size. But yeah, I
And
think
that's the one thing that Josh and I differ on.
yeah, it
His
took
are
me a little while to
buffets,
get there.
mine are through the truck.
Um, yeah, it's I I think you're missing out on a huge potential if you don't do it. Um, yeah, and it's guaranteed money. That's the biggest thing in our business. It's a guaranteed payday. You know, it doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if it's the shittiest weather known to man. Doesn't matter if it's 150 degrees out there. You're gonna get paid that day. And if you can guarantee a payday for a day, then you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of days where we go out for 8 hours and we do $600 in sales. I mean, not plenty of them, but I mean, those days happen.
Yeah.
More often than I would like. So, yeah, we did a $600 lunch yesterday at Wiseman, which is usually a $1,200 lunch for us. We did half. So, yeah, on a day that we only did lunch there. So, that was all we did for the day. So, yeah, it sucks. But we had a catered event in the evening, so it kind of makes up for it. Yeah, there we go. Next.
Shelving. What have you learned from your first trailers that you may apply to the next ones in regard to shelving? I'm considering more closed door shelving.
Yes. Put doors on everything.
Or lips. Put lips on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not those. Put lips. Yeah. The Rubbermaid wire shelving from any big box store that has the kind of the rail at the top that the vertical shelving, what's the word I'm looking for? Supports hook into, and then you can just screw to the wall. If you turn the actual shelf upside down, then you have a lip,
Mm-hmm.
and it definitely makes life a lot easier. So I've installed those, and my new trailer doesn't have any shelves, and because I said I was going to install them myself.
Still feeling good about that commitment?
What's that?
Still feeling good about that commitment of installing them yourself?
Yeah.
You got time in the winter. You'll have plenty of time.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like shelving that I can see, easy to grab. Closed door shelving is great, but you still have to open them, and you don't necessarily know what you can hide in the back that you may never see again. I just found a set of containers in the top above my sink that I didn't know I had back there. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we have a set of cabinets above our dish sinks that are all enclosed, and then underneath our service windows we have another set of cabinets down there that are enclosed. And then there's a shelf above an open shelf above our service window. What I know is that you never have enough storage.
Correct.
So yeah, we have another shelf above our sandwich prep table that we added in. Our steam table has a shelf on the bottom of it, and then we took out to kind of go into question number 4. We had a stovetop oven combo.
Yeah, how is that oven?
How is it?
Yeah.
It's great. You want it? It's sitting in my
How'd that work
garage.
for you?
Huh?
It's still in your garage.
What else am I going to do with it?
Oh, well, it is 600 pounds.
No one wants it. So we took that out and put in a stainless steel table with an extra shelf on it too. So yeah, we squeeze in as much storage as we can. For us, I don't mind the enclosed. We now do a much better job of not overstocking. So we keep enough on the truck for 1 to 2 days. Typically it's one, depending on what we got going on. But yep, we run to our little storage unit to get dry stock every day. Just so we don't run into a lot of those issues. That way we can get more other stuff. Like we have a full toolkit on board now with a full set of tools and stuff. So making room for some of that other stuff that we didn't before, and something breaks down or breaks on a truck, and all of a sudden now we got to run somewhere to get a set of screwdrivers or whatever. So we don't keep a ton of stuff, but it's enough stuff typically that if for whatever reason we can't get to storage today, it's not a huge deal. So
yeah,
I'd love to keep more, kind of. Chris would. Chris would keep a week's worth of stuff down there.
To answer your question about an oven, I don't have one. I don't have a need for it. B, if you consider adding one, consider the weight and consider what you'd use it for, and whether it's,
Guessing garlic bread.
I get that. And toasting cheese on top of meatball subs, like, come on, I completely understand.
Yeah.
So just consider the weight, and if it's electric or gas.
Yeah.
Propane usage.
Yeah. They are heavy.
Placement.
Mine's I think Skippy's pretty close to the 600 pounds.
I was going by what you said.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Just
if he's using it for like toasting stuff, think about maybe a small conveyor belt oven. Those are probably a little bit smaller, and
there's a lot of different things you can use for that, which I'm sure he knows. But something without the weight, because then you really got to be careful with the weight distribution on your trailer. I ran into a huge problem when I started moving stuff around and taking stuff out. I had tires on one side of the trailer that were wearing way faster than the other side, and that's just because the weight was so far off that it was definitely more stress on the one side of the trailer. So, just be careful with all that. And if you're having your trailer built, then adding it on is probably not a big problem because they would probably do it for you, I would assume. So, as long as you're using a reputable dealer, they will take into account all the weight distribution for you.
yes.
All right.
Customer complaints.
I don't know what those are.
Oh, we're perfect. We don't get those.
I challenge you to find one anywhere on my stuff.
I've only had one that was in person, not electronically delivered. Actually, sorry, I've had two, and they were both the same thing, portion size. And at the end of the day, you can't make everybody happy. Yep. So you ask them if they want to. I asked the nice lady if she wanted a refund, and she said yes. I said, great. I will be more than happy to take care of that for you. Don't lose your cool, and just treat them with respect, even though they might be candy asses. But
for the most part, it's never been anything consistent, so there's not really a most common. We've had some random things. I'd say the most common category for us is something that got made incorrectly. This wasn't supposed to have onions on it, or something like that.
Easy fix.
Yeah, it hasn't happened a ton. And that's, it's simple enough. You just tell them that you'll replace the sandwich and move on. I had a recent complaint about our ribs being overcooked They were overdone. Oversauced? Something about the sauce. I think it was oversauced or something. Overseasoned? I don't know. Yeah, and that was recently. That was like a week and a half ago. So I offered to replace her meal for her or give her a refund, and I never heard back from her. So, yeah. So yeah, there's that. Other complaints. I've had a complaint about a staff member, which I'm sure you've heard in previous episodes. I think we talked about it. I had a business owner approach the trailer because Chris had left a bad review on their business page, which wasn't even a bad review. More of a just, hey, don't agree with what you're doing type of thing. So yeah, during business hours, the business owner figured out where Chris worked, did some significant online stalking to find out where he worked, and then approached me demanding that I tell Chris to take the review down and punish him in some form. So during lunch service, we had a line of about 10 people, mostly regular customers, which was my time to shine, and explained to some people about how freedom of speech works, and how, yeah, so it was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Chris did not take down the review. Not until much, much later, which I'm still a little upset that he did take down his review. That business owner's son, I think it was late last year, maybe early this year, I don't remember, left a review on our page, our Google review, talking about the clown that served him with tattoos all over his face and a beard, and clearly a very false review. At which point I directed Google to the falseness of the review. It was taken down. So whether or not, I'm not sure what the order was, but it happened in the same day. Chris took down his review, and that review was also taken down. So I don't know if they figured they had won and they took it down, or if Google removed it. But either way, I don't fucking care. It was one bad review, clearly a review, a false review, and I responded in the sweetest, most caring business way I could, even though I knew it was a fake review, including pictures of staff, I think I had in the reply, and kindly let the person know that it may not have been our truck that he visited, and to maybe do a better Google search. Anyways, yeah, so there's that. And then
Your 23 Google reviews for 5 stars.
Yeah, and we don't have a single bad review on Facebook reviews. Our only blemish is on Yelp, and it was someone gave us 4 stars instead of 5, so we're at like a 4.7.
Did you know that your website is missing from your Google page?
Doesn't surprise me.
Okay, just let you know.
I'll be right back. If you want to start on Chad's, or at least go into Chad's question a little bit.
Oh, my good friend Chad.
Yeah.
So, Chad, Q Fellas Barbecue, had sent us a message about trailers. And so, excuse me, I have to clear my throat. As we hear Josh negotiating with his cleaning guy. So maybe I missed or flat forgot. I bought a used trailer to start with. Second trailer's come from Custom Trailer Pros. Josh, was your trailer from STG? Yes, Josh's trailer was
no service
from
today.
So what? So
no, we're not doing it this year.
For second trailer, Skippy, why didn't I go that route? Thought STG was the top of the line-ish.
What's that?
So for me,
taking it off
group STG
for the most part, doing some catering, but that's it.
They were $10,000 more in my case. So for me, it
If
was
you need a panini press, let me know.
cost prohibitive to get what I wanted, and because I couldn't, so I just didn't want to spend that much money. And the reviews I got from where I am purchasing the trailer is are really good. So I'm until I pick up the trailer, I can't say I'm happy. I'm happy with the process so far. They've been very good at keeping me informed, sending me pictures, sending me layouts. If there's any changes that need to be done, we've talked about them, worked through them. It's been a good experience so far. And the reason I think SDG is quote unquote top of the line ish, the main difference between them and pretty much anybody else is they build the trailer from the ground up, where a lot of other outfitters will build the trailer and then send it somewhere to have equipment installed. No, I know that I'm getting a brand new trailer as it was just built, but it's coming from a manufacturer that's their job is to build trailers and then send them off. So yeah, that's my thing. Josh, are you looking at SDG for a second trailer?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, probably Matt. Yeah, Skippy. For us, the quote came about the same-ish. I did get a discount for a return customer. The biggest difference I saw between the two, because I got quoted from both places, was Southern Dimensions. All the cabinets were included. So all my storage is already included. It wasn't add-ons. Other than that, yeah, I love my first trailer. It's held up amazing. Sure, there's screws missing from ceiling panels and stuff, or other places that I've had to tighten or reseal some seams or whatever like that. But for the amount of miles that are on that trailer, the stress that gets put on the trailers as we're moving around twice a day all year long, the vibrations from dirt roads and stuff, that's going to happen no matter where you get your trailer from. But other than that, I mean, we've been very happy. Thought there were some odd wiring things on that first trailer. The generator we got on that trailer wasn't the best for what we were using it for. And talking to Tracy at Southern Dimensions, he says, yep, we had a lot of problems with them. We're not using them anymore. And a couple other things that were on my trailer businesses that they are not dealing with anymore as vendors. So, yeah. So any problems I had, it looks like all those vendors are history. So I asked if I could get a refund on some of my stuff, but that was not the case. But yeah, it's for me being able to get the same trailer at the same price, but it's a known entity for me. Like I know what I'm going to get, and they do build it from the ground up. So if I have any issues with anything with that trailer or the equipment inside, it's one call, pretty much. I'm not going to get redirected to the trailer manufacturer for a frame problem or something like that. So having a single point of contact is nice, and I know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get a high quality trailer. I'm not saying that Skippy's not, but it's one less what if question for me. So
one less middleman.
Yeah, and if with the price being what it is, then yeah.
And Chad, to answer your last question about where could I see the extra cost, for me, I think the extra cost was the fact that they just built it from the ground up versus use a manufacturer to build it for them. So
yeah.
I think that would have been the main difference. And that's all they do is concession trailers. I mean, there's nothing else. They don't do anything else. It's straight, concession trailers, and they're all top notch. So
yeah, and I think the cabs are included on all their trailers too, which adds a little to the cost. Typically, because they color match the inside to the outside. So whatever color you get on the outside of the cabinets and the inside are going to be the same color too. So I'm sure the extra materials there add a little bit. I don't think it's 10,000, but I think you're also paying for the SDG nameplate too. So I'm on a delay.
Yeah, so your audio is a little messed up.
Huh. I wonder how that happened. When
And
I
you're
muted, probably.
and
I'm seeing it on the, the video recording. In other news,
you're some kind of special.
on the bright side, though, anybody listening just to Spreaker it should be fine. So,
Oh boy.
oh yeah, my computer's all kind of just went weird. It'll catch up.
See what happens? Cleaning guy gets there and all shit gets screwed up.
I had to
Was he
get
for
something else to clean real quick.
Is he Febrezing you around? I think that's all our questions. Ish. We have. Yes, please keep sending in questions. We love to answer questions. It gives us structure.
Yeah. I think if we can fill out other structured segments, then we might go down to a question a day type of thing, or a question an episode, if we can manage to fill the rest of the time. I did. I think our first couple episodes I tried to structure that out. I actually sent you a schedule
format
for the episode.
Yeah, we see how well that worked.
Yeah, I didn't at all.
How about this? There was. Let me go to the Spacebook real quick.
The Spacebook?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Spacebook.
Okay.
Where's my groups? Let's look at some stuff here.
Oh, shit.
Search.
Chad said he didn't hear you because I was talking over you. I'm not sure which part he didn't hear. That was pretty recent.
I don't know either.
He said Chad asked about a slide out on a trailer. I think the right slide out could work. So if it was like like if it was a service window area, like for us, there's nothing there. It's just a wall with some cabinets. So if we could slide that out to give a little bit more space, maybe, but I don't know what we would do with the extra space. I don't know that it would be usable space to have, other than just extra room to be able to walk around.
So I actually have firsthand knowledge of a food truck or food trailer with a slide out.
Are we talking about Hetzner?
Yeah.
Wolf?
So he's got one big slide out because he converted a fifth wheel into a commercial kitchen or a STFU to where all the cabinets and everything slide out, and then he's got an island in the middle for all the kind of prep to go one side to the other. He said he did have to use extra braces on the slide out for the actual weight that goes on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely, he only brings it out for really big events.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the best use of the extra space was, because you can't really do any appliances in that slide out, because then you have electrical or gas lines that you have to worry about or whatever. I don't know. It's possible, and I'm sure that there's a way to lay it out that it is cool, but I can't. Yeah, and just in my head, I can't imagine a use for it. Fran has asked what's new on upcoming menus for next season.
I noticed your menu stays pretty similar.
Find what works and go with it.
You worry about it getting stale?
No. That's what they're coming for, is what, I mean, it's... No. If maybe stale to me. I mean, but I don't matter. Like, is it boring making the same things over and over and over again? Probably. But if I go to McDonald's, I'm getting one of the same three things every time, regardless of what new items they've added. You know? I've only ever gotten a Whopper meal at Burger King. I've gotten nothing else from there ever. That's what I go to Burger King for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, I understand, and that's why you created the Around the World for people to try something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of the same thing? Like, I would love to do the thing with, you know, try each one of our specials. I'll give you a T-shirt that says "I'm special. I tried all the specials at PB and J's."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that one's harder because it's such a well, and we're so flippant with our specials. Like something will just pop into my head, like the apple pie thing. We talked about it on the podcast a little bit. I tried it once. We sold them all. I haven't heard anything from a customer.
How many's all?
We did 16.
Okay.
So that was 5 apples and four cinnamon roll cans. So I think we had $20 in it, maybe.
Yeah, and you sold them for what? $5.50. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking for the Facebook group that we belong to, and somebody had posted yesterday. So irritating when event organizers lie about events to get you to come out and not tell you about other food trucks that will be there also.
Are you not going to answer the question from your own mother? You're just going to ignore it? All right, whatever.
You know, we already talked yesterday.
I am really looking forward to next year and seeing the secret menu.
No, all right. So new trailers got a bigger steam table. Thinking about offering chicken, but rarely. I'd love to offer beans. Just stuff that I can make with other stuff. I mean, I love creating sandwiches and all, but yeah, it'll be the mix of the same specials. I don't know what new will be out.
All right.
Anyway, so irritating when event organizers lie about events to get you to come out and not tell you about other trucks that will be there also. These people think it costs us nothing to come out to these events. Maybe we should start charging a fee to have us at their, or maybe we should start charging a fee to have us at their events. We've all come into that. We've all had.
Hello, dead horse. We meet again.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that we could get enough food trucks to participate in that mentality to where organizers would be forced to do it?
No.
I don't think so either.
That's not going to happen. And you can't just do it. So if you're the only one that's going to charge them, you're just not going to get events. Because there's always going to be trucks.
They're just going to find somebody else.
There's always going to be trucks that are willing to do it for free. Or, I will. I'll step in. I got it. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. But it happens. I'm hoping my audio is coming through okay. If someone can comment to make sure. It looks like all of my internet here is a little off. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I can hear you. There are times that you're spotty.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just tried to refresh my Gmail page and it's just spinning. So.
Well, keep talking while it's working. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, if we cut out early, everybody, it's oh, Fran, thank you very much. She said it's good on Spreaker. So if we happen to cut out or lose the connection, we'll probably just end the episode there. So sorry, guys. But yeah, with the new subdivision, Spectrum did a update overnight a couple of days ago.
Oh, you're on Spectrum? Spectrum sucks.
I think I am.
Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with them. They've been really good, actually. But yeah, they did some work, and with the new subdivision, they're always doing work, so occasionally we get weird stuff happening, but usually it's all overnight. Anywho,
so you
yeah.
wouldn't have the mentality of let's charge somebody.
No.
You'd have the mentality of I'll be the one who steps in when somebody's trying to charge you.
Heck yeah. I'm just happy to still find events or enough events that aren't charging me to show up, that don't want a percentage of something, you know?
Yeah. That's good.
And you know what? It's one of those things where you do an event where the organizer isn't completely upfront, or it's a shitty event, and then you know what you do the next year? You don't go back. You find something else.
Yeah,
unfortunately, those are the
part
lessons.
It's all part of the game.
Yeah, we did have a Facebook group over here. It was mostly during COVID. I haven't seen any activity on it recently. It was Food Truck Circle of Trust, where you could post bad organizers, bad events, bad locations, as well as good ones, which was nice, especially for us, it being so early on. But when everybody was just struggling to find places to set up, it was a nice little tool. You know, avoid this subdivision, go to this subdivision. This one was pretty good for us. Blah 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 blah. And then you got to take all that information with a grain of salt. So, just because one truck does bad at a subdivision doesn't mean you're going to do bad at a subdivision. Menu, price, make a huge difference. And the quality of your trailer setup makes a big difference, whether or not you get customers. Billy Bob's trailer that he built out of a 1947 camper that, like Stevie says, has holes all over it and held together with Bondo and not repainted, and you know, it's probably not going to get as many customers because people will judge that trailer and the food by the trailer, so a little bit.
Yeah.
So. Yep. For us for next season, on new menu items, I don't know. We'd love to get chicken on a regular basis, or we probably will add some sort of chicken on a regular basis, or at least a daily basis. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I don't know. Chicken seems to be the big one that we get asked for the most.
Tired of it not selling.
What's that?
Just tired of it not selling.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sucky part, like doing like a chicken thigh sandwich, which was a pretty good seller for us. But yeah, I mean, we pay more for the chicken thigh because it's boneless, skinless, you know. And yeah, we could debone and deskin ourselves, but that time is, it's just too much time. Yeah, so we'd like to get some chicken in there. I would definitely like to get a dessert on a regular basis. Preferably a cold dessert. Kind of like a banana pudding or something like that. Probably work on something like that. Oh, I lost your audio, Skippy.
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, I mean, the strawberry shortcake was good. Other than it was just a little bit time consuming to make our strawberry sauce, because we were homemaking that. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It sold okay. So, the shelf life on it's not probably great on that strawberry sauce, I wouldn't think. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Probably play with something. I'd like it not to be a rotating dessert and just do a dessert.
I'd like to have more than two sides. So I have coleslaw and
Mac and cheese.
mac and cheese. But I'd like
Yep.
to do a potato salad or something like that.
How many bays are in your steam table?
2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can go straight third pan or deep third pans because that'll fit a half pan. But
Yep.
I do my mac and cheese in full pans.
That's where you're losing all your space.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
I
you go
hate
to
doing,
half pans, and you got a whole lot more room.
yeah, I hate doing half pans. Of mac and cheese at least.
I think uh, I let everybody know on the truck that I think either next week or our last week we're gonna test out and do aluminum pans for everything, not disposable, but full on aluminum pans. Just to kind of get a feel for how much more work it is to get those clean on the truck.
Just
on a
buy
daily
pan
basis.
liners.
I tried pan liners and I didn't like them. I had a lot of problems with them ripping on the corners of the pans.
Really?
Yeah, because I tried that originally, which is why I have the pans, so I don't have to buy any of the pans because we have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then tried pan liners, and yeah, I didn't care for it.
They do feel like whenever I've used them, because I've used them for bigger events, so I don't have to keep changing my half pans out.
Yeah,
I bought 6-inch deep full pan or half pans and just put a liner in them. It seems like the grease or juice, whatever you want to call it, inside whatever meat you're putting it in, like seeps through.
yeah,
Like so, like the pan is dirty no matter what, even if you've got it lined with something.
yep,
It's just that part I always found kind of weird, but
yeah. And so for me for separation, so we separate our juices and stuff. It seems like it'd be harder to get. It's hard because you have all the little wrinkles and seams and the plastic bags and stuff. So, So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it works.
oh, you're talking about as far as even cooking in them.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Doing away with disposables altogether. Unless we're doing some sort of drop-off catering.
yeah, I mean that's
So, we go through a case of half pans a week. Give or take.
now keep in mind that's going to add a lot of weight to your warmer.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem.
So I know when I've added weight to the warmer that because the slides of the warmer are so small that like one jostle will make a pan fall.
So we probably just need to replace that sheet pan. Because I have a couple pans that no matter where I put them, they will slide.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just the way that in the molding process that it got cut a little bit short.
Yeah, I don't know. It irritates me.
I would love to be able to have, for those to be able to fit a frickin' hotel pan sideways would be nice.
Sideways would be fucking awesome. Yeah, I know.
If we could make a pan for that, that'd be great.
There is a warmer that you can slide the hotel pan in. Lengthwise.
Yeah, it's got these weird little brackets in them. The restaurant store over here had it, and it looked like you were
the weird brackets where it's like this, and then it goes down. Another one.
It looks like you'd lose so much space though. Like you're not going to get as many rows that way.
So our friend Ed from Hog's Backyard Barbecue actually has a small warmer that has the same brackets that our warmers do, but it's not as wide. It's only as wide as a hotel pan. So all the space is for the hotel pans. There's no extra
Right.
gets in it.
So it's a straight warmer. It's probably not a proofer at all. It's just a warmer.
It's probably just a warmer, but it's tiny. I mean, tiny as far as I think it's maybe up to our waists. But I mean, you fill a full hotel, like a 6-inch deep full pan with all your brisket for the day.
And you just fill the half pans from there. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's interesting. Chad also wanted to know about competitions. I'm going to guess if we're still doing them or not, or how we manage that. I know you're still doing them, Skippy, which is awesome. For me, as of right now, no. I have a, for me, it's shutting down the trailer for a weekend and losing out on that revenue.
Well, okay, so talk about it when you get your second trailer.
Yeah, yeah. So at that point, I would be much easier. It would be much easier for me to do, where we can leave the trailer running, at least one of the trailers running still, and I could take potentially the other one or whatever and go do a contest. So yeah, when we get to that point, it's a much more likely. At the same time, we've also talked about how different competition barbecue is right now, and I just don't know that it is for me anymore.
I know we haven't heard a good 922 toast in a very long time.
Yeah, well,
I think we're due for one.
there can, yeah.
For our
no
podcast
substitutes.
next Monday, could you write one?
For the podcast next Monday?
Yeah.
Sure thing. Yeah, it's, if I take a weekend off of work to do the same thing that I do the other 100 hours of the week, I don't know.
Yeah.
And for it not to be the environment that we started in.
It's close.
No, it's not.
It
It is far more serious than it was.
it's not about cooking barbecue. It's about seeing your friends and family.
Okay, but then you got to get there on a Thursday night, because if you show up on Friday, everybody's going to be in bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock and getting up early. No one's socializing on a Friday night.
That's not true.
It is 90% true, because
Not true at all.
the last 3 contests that I've been to, it's been that way.
Because there was a Thursday night. There's
There's
not a
always
Thursday
a Thursday night.
if
Everybody's
there's
showing
not
up
a-
early.
If there's not a if there's yeah no I mean there's yeah.
Everybody
Okay.
shows up Thursday now. Everybody shows up a day early to have that, so that way they can focus on the contest.
No.
So yeah, it's a much different environment. It's a much more serious environment, and I don't need to have a serious event when I take a weekend off type of thing. So,
I can tell you it's definitely not as serious as it used to be. I don't believe it's as serious as it used to be at any point in time. I just do it because I don't have any other fucking hobbies to do. Excuse my language. I mean, having this trip to Texas is, I'm nervous as hell, but I'm excited as hell at the same time.
yeah, I mean, competitively, I mean, I'm a competitive guy, but yeah, I don't know.
You just lost your will. Too many ass whoopings.
It's not about too many ass whippings. I competed a long time with no calls. I went a year and a half without a call. Over 12 contests without a call. But I never felt like I was out of touch with what judges were looking for. I just couldn't get there. You know what I'm saying? So
Barbecue wings.
now that I've only done a few in the last couple of years, like, I have no idea what the judge is looking for, and that was very clear on our last contest.
Well, that was fucking Indiana.
Well, Indiana has always been a state where we've done well, always. That's one of our good states. So yeah, it was a combination of all that stuff, just being out of it for so long, and then just really not knowing what's being looked for, and being stressed about the business and shutting down and stuff. So yeah, it's possible once we get to another trailer, but there's not a strong desire for me right at the moment either.
Gotcha.
I miss it. I miss what it was and when we were there, and I have a lot of great memories from barbecue contests, and It just hasn't felt that way the last couple that I've been to. So
Yeah,
whether that's just me being older
absolutely.
or or it has changed. Yeah. Anyway. All right, everybody. It is 10:30. 1. We're late. You guys got a bonus minute or two this week. Congratulations.
We love everybody. Thanks for your constant support.
Yeah, keep listening and keep sharing and listen at work.
And share at work. Tell your friend. Hashtag tell a friend.
Yeah, tell all your friends. All 3 of them. All right, everybody. We will be back next week. Yes? We're back next week. Halloween.
Yes.
Next week, 9 o'clock a.m. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Day
Follow
before
us on-
Halloween.
Yeah, whatever. Same difference. Like, share, find us on all the socials, guys. Have a good week. See ya, Skippy.
Peace out.